Welcome back to Morning Glory. I'm Mike Graham. James Price is here, former number 10 advisor, of course, and classic scholar, I have to say. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all. Here's the thing. Let's talk about COP29, because, as I always say, every time there's a COP meeting, the only thing they can ever decide is where to hold the next one. So COP29, no doubt, will be looking forward to COP30, which will take place, I think, in Brazil. This one this week is in Baku, in Azerbaijan, which is an oil-rich country, right, full of former sort of Soviet agents, full of, it's a former Russian republic, if you like, which has been freed up by the new, ending of the USSR. Everyone's flying there on private jets and various other, means to tell everybody else why they shouldn't be flying anymore.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. And
what a waste of time.
The hypocrisy is worse than that. I mean, this always happens, right? And that one of the main guys got caught on tape saying it's going to be a great opportunity to sell loads of oil and gas.
Yeah,
right? Great sting. But what's worse than this is that Azerbaijan, it's a long way away in the Caucasus, and maybe people don't care about this part of the world so much, but it's a great rival of the other country of Armenia, which we were talking about Christianity earlier on. Armenia is the first Christian country in the world. Yeah. It has churches in there that are sort of like, 1800
Isn't
years old?
Isn't this the place that David Lammy misconstrued when he made a statement about ethnic cleansing?
He did.
Supported it.
There's a conflict in a place called Nagorno-Karabakh that's there, where the Azeri army, the Azerbaijanis, went in there and they ethnically cleansed this place. They shelled people.
And he supported
the rest of it. And he said, oh, it was great what they've done there. It's extraordinary. I was there earlier this year. I was in Yerevan, the capital of Armenia, as well. This is a Christian country that has been invaded time and again. I've been interviewed, people who've been ethnically cleansed by Azerbaijan. It's absolutely disgraceful that we've just rolled out the red carpet and given them all this wonderful license. Oh, isn't it great? They really care about the environment and all this stuff, while they're forcing people out of their homes and just still selling oil and gas. It's terrible.
Absolutely extraordinary. Meanwhile, page 15 of the Daily Mail says gloomy weather may get spirits down, but it's also putting a damper on the UK's power output. Apparently, it says the amount of wind and solar energy generated has fallen significantly over the past 2 weeks due to a high-pressure weather system. So not only when it gets calm do loads of migrants come across the channel, it means that you can't generate any energy from so-called renewable sources. And I know that Peter Hitchens has been doing this last week, putting out every day the sort of national grid, 80 to 90% fossil fuels. Thank you very much indeed.
If we take all these wind turbines that don't actually spin very often and generate much energy, and we stick them all along maybe the White Cliffs of Dover, and maybe stick a few nuclear power reactors, because that is actually the way to fight climate change. It's with nuclear power, which is definitely the best power generation we should be doing much more of. Stick those up to the wind turbines, blow wind down, and we can send all the small boats back to France. Problem solved.
I had a tweet from somebody yesterday who was travelling on a train, I think, through sort of the central belt, I suppose, of Britain, passing all sorts of wind farms, none of which were actually working. All of the wind turbines were not moving. One final one, pubs and restaurants told suck it up over national insurance increases. So let's put all of our, decent, hard-working people in the business of hospitality to the sword, shall we?
When Labour said in the general election campaign that they were the fans of business, they cared about business, they cared about small businesses and business owners and things like that, remember this. Remember, every tax hike they put on, it's a lie, it's a damn lie, and it's outrageous. This is what happens when Labour get in charge of the economy. People at home will suffer in the form of higher costs, businesses going bust. That's because of Labour. It's
true. Absolutely right. James, great to see you. Thank you very much indeed. It's been too long.